Leadership is a subject that tends to be romanticized. And we can understand why. Because when one wins, it's wonderful, and the narratives that tend to be presented tend to be those of success. But in the real world, as you very well know, entrepreneurship and leadership take a lot more than simply winning. The real story is one of traveling on cheap flights. It's missing a holiday sometimes. It's having disappointments because perhaps the pitch you were hoping for didn't quite materialize. It's all these things because that gives you the scar tissue. And scar tissue comes from, not theory, it comes from doing, from battle. And that's what makes you better at your game. As for Princeton, Princeton is a wonderful place to hone some of what is required to be a leader because you learn how to learn. And you're in an incredible infrastructure surrounded by world-class talent with an incredible community. So it gives you an enormous advantage if you're curious, which you are by definition by being here. And if you've got the time to think about leadership, Princeton is a wonderful place to be inspired. Coming back here makes you realize that knowing what you study, loving what you study, is very important in whatever you happen to do in the rest of your life. I remember vividly that this love of what I did at the time is something that was very special. And likewise, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to absolutely love what you do. It is the fuel that makes you overcome all the challenges that happen. Having worked for a long time in finance, about 20 years, 10 of which as an MD, I thought that the moment I was going to step out and create my company, people were simply going to throw money at me. I thought it was going to be very easy. Reality was very different. I discovered that when you step out of a large corporation and you set out on your own, you're a small creature in a dynamic world. And you've got to compete somehow and get capital and get clients and so forth. If you are out there creating your company, it means you're an impatient person. You're driven and you want things to happen fast. But the real world sometimes teaches you how to wait, whether it be for a big deal, whether it be for something important, whether it be for a raise. And the learning to wait is clearly something that I found challenging because it took longer than perhaps I was hoping to get the first clients, to get the product ready and so forth. There is understanding the law of the jungle, and then there is living it. There is no substitute for learning how to run your business. You just have to do it, and there you will make plenty of mistakes. There'll be plenty of failures along the way, but you're learning as you do that, and that makes you better and better over time. My aspiration for my leadership philosophy would be for it to be value-based, based on ethics. And if there's one definition that I love about ethics, it's to define it as Levinas, the famous philosopher, did as responsibility towards the other. We're aspiring for that to be the case at Alpima. So the thing about an organization our size is that there is an element of human adventure to it, right? There's an element of us versus them. We're a small enough team to have this really special feeling of working together with a common cause, which is to make the company a success. That means in the team, to our stakeholders, to our clients. We are responsible to the other. It has to work. As a result, what you're getting is an incredibly responsive organization that is able to perform at a level that is much harder to achieve when you've got larger organizations, because you have no walls, you have one set of values, and you can see a direct impact between action and outcome. The very sheer gratification of seeing a company evolve from a group of 3 to 5 to 11 to 20-ish people, that in itself is an incredibly gratifying thing for everybody in the room. And there's always a new challenge, there's always something else that we're going to pursue and to aim for. And every milestone feels like a victory when we are finally able to make it. There's something to be said about convincing the team that we are a special crew and we are going to see it through and we are going to succeed. So this is very, very important. And it's not always easy, but I think it's a very important element to show resilience and to show that you still believe. And look, this crew can truly achieve amazing things. We will succeed together.